Hello, this is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty, and before we get into today's episode, we're going to hear a little message from our friends over at Two Girls, One Reusable Cup.
Pop Pack Collective, massive.
Ooh, ooh. Sorry, pigeon got in the room.
Hello, we are Two Girls, One Reusable Cup, a podcast all about living a low-waste lifestyle in your 20s, hosted by Beth and Marie. We are just your average consumer trying to make the best decisions for people and planet. And we mess up. A lot.
And the next morning had a massive hangover and I was like, where's my reusable straw? No, my prized possession.
You know, toothpaste is like one of the jumping off points of this podcast. And it also was one of the jumping off points of my very large dentist bill.
And they put it in just standard plastic cup with a plastic lid. But don't worry, folks, they put a paper straw in it, which I think I slurped twice and then it disintegrated.
Wait, you've never learned how to ride a bike?
So kudos to my dad, he tried to teach me and I was just a pain.
I love how unforgiving you are of the fact that this was 1,800 metres above sea level. But where was my quiche?
Grab a cup of tea, sit down with us, and come and join the Sustainable Support Group.
Oh, so we had a spit on this bottle. He was just on his farm one day, having a wank.
Wipe until blood comes out. But the person who washes their hands after a shower is mental.
For the audience, not a murderer, he had a heart attack. The last time I made a donation to the charity shop, I donated a shirt that says, "Of course I come fast, I have fish to catch."
Two brothers, Joey Tim from Blighty Town. Every Wednesday, drop beats, bring the fun around. Laughter echoing through the mic, they slay. Hosts of the show, light up your day. Joey's got the jokes, Tim's got the rhymes. Flowing together like clockwork chimes. Tuning in the weekly, put your worries aside. Join in the fun, let the good vibes ride. Blokes from Blighty, bring the joy. Listen up, every girl and boy. Wednesday's here, let's all sing. Joey and Tim make your heart sing.
Think you can stop what we do? I doubt it. We got the energy. I'll tell you all about it. It's Two Blokes from Blighty. I am Joe Fitzgerald. I'm joined by the erotic Tim Fitzgerald. How are you feeling, Tim?
So essential. I recognise those lyrics, but I don't know what they're from.
But if I sang them in an Irish accent, you might recognise them more. It's from a TikTok thing that's going around. It's the Irish kids. And they have a song, and he goes, "Think you can stop what we do? I doubt it."
I'm not saying, okay, that I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll spam you loads of TikToks with it because it is a banger.
All right, bet. Joey, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I am all right. We're recording on a Friday. Feel like it's been a long week.
Yeah,
It's the
you've not been
weekend
well.
now. I've not been well. We were meant to record on Wednesday, but I was hacking up my guts.
Yeah.
Just for you, of the visual persuasion. Tim, before we get started, I know I haven't put it in the running order, but I'm throwing it in here. A good friend of the pod, Jess, sent me a voice message on Thursday. And she said it was an 11-second voice note, and it just said, "Take your hymen with you, Tim. Wow. Just wow." If you remember, that was something I said in the last episode. Let me just I don't know if this will pick it up. Hold on. It said, "Oh my God, Tim, you and your hymen can get out of here. Those are words I expected never to hear anyone say." So,
all right, Jess.
If you have reactions to what we say in Two Blokes from Blighty, please let us know. Shout out to Jess, loyal listener. And wonderful person, but not a fan of your hymen, Tim.
He's a hymen hater.
I don't know if I want to say that about Jess.
Oh, right. Shall we get into pub quiz question of the week?
Pube quiz question.
Pub quiz question of the week. That's not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
Pub quiz question of the week. Joey, what was Walt Disney's original name for Mickey Mouse before his wife convinced him to change it?
Hitler the Mouse.
Wasn't Hitler the Mouse, shockingly enough.
Adolf the I was going to say feline. That's a cat.
That's a cat, and still no.
Adolf the Vermin.
I don't know where this Hitler obsession's come from.
Walt Disney was in Hitler Youth, wasn't he?
Something like that.
So that's what I think.
It wasn't that.
The mouse's name was Mein Führer.
Mouse Führer.
Yeah, good.
There you go. It's not any of them, shockingly.
Shockingly. Right, okay, cool. Well, I look forward to finding out what it is at the end of the episode. Tim, this episode goes out on the 26th of June.
That is 5 days away at the time of recording.
So if today's Friday, then we've got Saturday.
Sunday.
Yeah, then it's Monday, Tuesday.
Thursday?
No, this goes out on a Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Wednesday, my dude. Wednesday. Wednesday. Wednesday.
If ever those get clipped, we're going to look like absolute morons. Tim, I've got some days of the week for you.
Hit me with them.
I got to be honest. There's one in there that I think will win, but the others are pretty poor.
Sure.
National Beautician's Day.
Okay, sure.
You're naturally beautiful, so you don't need to worry about that.
I look like a disheveled Bill Bailey.
National Coconut Day.
Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. I like coconut.
National Parchment Day.
As in the paper.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
National Barcode Day.
That's staggeringly boring.
Yeah, and then National Chocolate Pudding Day.
Yeah, with Coconut Day.
Why?
It's like coconut.
But chocolate pudding's in there, Tim.
I know, I'm not a big fan of chocolate pudding.
Okay, well, you're going to ruin the audience's time because they could have had a chocolate pudding, but instead you're just going to make them have a fucking whole coconut or something.
The way you're going to celebrate this audience, I want you to take a bite out of a coconut like an apple.
Yeah, see, they could have had a lovely chocolate pudding, but instead you're making dentists all over the country richer.
That's why they like Coconut Day.
Sure. Why the hell not? I'm beyond arguing it with you, Tim.
Oh, right.
Tim, we've got a packed schedule.
We do. I was going to say we had some weird conversations at work today, and I wanted to get your opinion on them.
Okay.
So the first one was a hypothetical that I posed to my team. Right.
Right.
You're making toast in the morning, and you take the bread out the toaster after it's done being toasted, and there very distinctly on the toast, face of Jesus. What are you doing?
Well, first of all, I'm exclaiming it's the Holy Toast.
That's a great start. Yep, fantastic.
Second of all, I'm going to make some money, so I'm selling the story to a newspaper.
So how are you going to validate to the newspaper that it's real?
Have you seen the quality of journalism in tabloid newspapers? I will not need to validate a single thing.
Speaking of quality journalism, I was reading about this thing today called, have you heard of this thing called the Dorde Matranovic incident?
Nope.
So it was a thing when Serbia and Albania were at war in like 1984, I want to say.
Is this what the chanting at the Euros has been about? And Serbia has threatened to pull out of the Euros based on chanting from Albanian fans?
I don't know. I haven't been watching that. What are they chanting?
I have no idea. And to be honest, if it's making a country threaten to pull out of the tournament, don't think I want to repeat it.
Fair enough. That's fine. So this guy, Dorde Matranovic, was a farmer in Serbia, and he was just on his farm one day having a wank. And
right,
he decided it would be a great idea to put a beer bottle on a stick and shove it up his ass while he had a wank. Right?
We've all done
We've
it.
all been there, sure. So what ended up happening, I don't know whether the beer bottle broke or got stuck or what.
Okay.
But he went to the hospital and said that Albanians had attacked him
Right.
and shoved this bottle up his ass. So he was transferred to another hospital, and they were like, it must have been brute force. He was attacked. And some
Why is it
journalists
so
thought,
slimy and covered in lube?
well, we had a spit on this bottle. So, rather saddeningly, some reporters caught wind of it and ran the story, and this led to riots. And people went over into Albania and just fucking butchered people. It was like a massacre. This thing, and eventually, after like 2 months, this guy was like, "Yeah, I was just having a weird wank. I was having a wank on my farm." But it directly led to the fall of Yugoslavia.
Wow.
It's just something I was reading about at work today, just like because
I guess a question I have for you, Tim, is of your many wanks, what's the most that's led to what's the most number of deaths that your wanks have led to?
do unborn people count?
No.
Damn. Okay, I was going to say
That would be
millions.
civilizations.
Probably 2.
2?
Yeah, made the hallway of that building very slippery.
I can't remember which comedian said it, but he was like, yeah, childbirth is a miracle, but don't forget you've wiped civilizations off your chest with a gym sock.
Brilliant.
I think it's so good.
So the other discussion that happened at work.
Sorry, I want to know what you said about the Jesus on toast thing.
I said that I would try and recreate it just to see if someone was fucking with my toaster for a start.
Okay.
If I couldn't recreate it, I don't know what I'd do.
You'd have to use like decent butter on it. You couldn't go like utterly buttery. You'd have to Lurpak it, wouldn't you?
It would have to be a Lurpak.
Otherwise, it could be considered like a hate crime.
Yeah.
Against Jesus.
Yeah. But if I was able to recreate it, I would be taking that toaster to the local priest, I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, if you had a faulty toaster that produced toast with the shape of Jesus in, I don't think you'd ever need to work again.
No. You would be getting like donations left and right.
Yeah. Yeah, just
hand over fist.
Hand over fist, and then bottle up the arse, yeah.
Yeah, and bottle up the arse and nail into fist.
Yep.
We got talking about. We sat down just like, working on cases. And the guy who sat opposite me on my team just comes out with, does anyone else wash their hands after a shower?
Hey?
So we all looked at him like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, well, whenever you wash your armpits and your genits and your ass, your hands are dirty. So after like you get out the shower, I feel like I need to wash mine. And we were just like, what do you think the shower is there to do?
Yeah.
So this led to a whole debate of whether or not people should wash their hands for a shower. And someone else then piped in with that they every time they have a shit at home, they have a shower.
Every time.
Every time. So his logic being that if he didn't, what was it? If he got shit while he was at home on like his arm or something, wiping it off wouldn't be sufficient. You'd have to.
No, I've heard this before. It's the argument for a bidet.
Yeah, so he was saying that it's not weird that people don't wash. It's just that he does because he doesn't have a bidet.
But most people don't have a bidet.
Most people don't have a bidet, but I understand what he's saying. I just think that's a little extreme.
But I do the same thing everyone else does. I finish what I'm doing on the loo. I tuck both my heels behind my head and I inspect thoroughly.
Yeah.
While still sat on the toilet, and then I wipe until blood comes out.
Yep.
And then I take it to my neighbour's bin and put it in there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, it's like, yes, brown to red is a very blurry spectrum.
Do I want that in the episode, did I say something where I regret what I said immediately?
Just cut out the middleman. Just start waffle stomping.
Yeah, I mean, if your mate, is he your friend or is he a bit weird?
Yeah, no, he's a friend.
Okay, if your friend thinks, I really need to shower after every poo I have, just go in the shower.
Yeah. Save
why
water
not? See, exactly. Why even bother owning a toilet?
at that point.
Yeah.
At that point.
But the person who washes their hands after a shower is mental.
So you're right there with us then.
That is crazy.
So, like, his argument was that you wouldn't wash your hands in warm, soapy armpit sweat, right?
It's a shower. It's running constantly.
Yeah, the water goes down the drain. If it was a bath, that'd be different.
If I had a bath, and I hate baths, I would never.
I do too. I hate the idea of soaking in my own filth.
Exactly, and because of that, if I were to have one, I would have a shower immediately afterwards to rinse off. So I don't see the point.
Or before.
No, afterwards. Always afterwards, because no matter how hard you shower, you're gonna miss a little bit of something. Or you need a poo while you're in the bath, and then you got to go before and after.
Well, then you get a new bath toy.
I was going to cut that line out, but now I'm keeping it in for sure. But your friend's friend?
This is wash hands, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Friend?
Yep.
Your friend's argument is flawed because what they're assuming is the things that they're using to clean themselves are literally cleaning one side of the contact. It doesn't work like that.
So, I mean, the whole crux of the argument was you wouldn't wash yourself with warm, soapy armpit sweat. Okay. And our argument was that water from the armpit sweat also runs off and into the drain.
But hold on. So I put shower gel on my hand, right? So for the audio, which is all of you, audio listeners, I'm doing this very visually. I squirt shower gel onto my hand, right?
Yep.
Washing my armpit.
Yep.
Rub. Rub.
Yep.
Right? Still going. Rub. By the time I've rubbed, I'm under the water. I'm rubbing. It's clean.
Yep.
It's clean with my hands still there.
Yes.
So you're not washing anything in dirty armpit water. You are purely rubbing in clean soap. The point in soap is to clean.
Well,
why does this strange man think that doesn't happen?
So this is what we were saying. We were like, I said to him, shower gel is basically soap. And then, funnily enough, the shower after shit man chimed in saying there's no basically, it is soap.
Yes, it is soap.
That led to a whole debate with one person arguing that side.
I got a question for you about shower habits.
Yeah.
Do you wash your legs in the shower?
Absolutely.
Why don't people do it? That's weird, right?
That's very weird. Like, I get that you're using like the water runoff to let the soap run over, but you're not scrubbing. It's just passing over you.
I think it's just people that are lazy that don't.
Yeah.
And people don't. People admit to it, and a lot of people admit to it. I don't understand it.
No, it's important. Like, your legs get very sweaty too, and they also need a scrub.
Exactly. Tim's legs didn't get sweaty. They wouldn't fit into his leather jeans.
I wouldn't have my slug-like properties.
Exactly. Going back to episode 1, you'd never slide like a penguin.
That what a callback. Great work.
Cool. I know. Thank you. Segue of the year.
Yeah. Good. The other
Awful.
thing,
Tim, not good. Awful. Stupid we've had the conversation about standing or sitting to wipe, right?
Yes.
Have we had that on the podcast?
Yes, we did. That was very early on.
I told you about my friend who is a lovely guy. He's very talented. He has apparently since changed his ways. Questionable, I think. He's told people he's changed his ways because they heard his reaction to how he wipes. And that is to stand up straight, wipe. No, sorry, stand up straight, turn around, face the toilet, wipe, and then
What an image.
and then put the toilet paper in and watch it go down the
Why would
drain.
you wipe your ass towards the opposing wall?
I don't know. But he's like I said, changed his ways.
In big old air quotes.
Let's get off of toilet habits, Tim. Let's
Well,
talk about. Go on.
Well, the other conversation, there was a lot of weird conversations at work today. My manager's partner moved into their new flat today, and I'd like you to take a guess at what they found in the bedroom cupboard.
The previous tenant's children.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that's good.
Yep, it was a prostate massager. What a housewarming gift.
I mean, if it was boxed,
It was boxed, but it wasn't sealed.
you throw that away, don't you?
That is a rubber glove jobby.
So, yeah, it's a rubber glove and tongs jobby. If you moved into your house now,
Yep.
and there was a sealed prostate massager, sealed box, what are you doing?
To be honest, I'm going to eBay.
Really, you just sell it?
I would probably just sell it or take it to the charity shop round the corner.
I don't think you would take it to the charity shop because then they associate your face with the prostate massager.
The last time I made a donation to the charity shop, I donated a shirt that says, "Of course I come fast, I have fish to catch." I got no shame about that kind of thing.
Fair enough. I saw a shirt that you would love, and I thought it was really funny.
Go on.
It said in big bold letters, "Biggest micro penis in the world."
Brilliant. I saw one the other day that just said, the horrors are not ending, and yet I remain silly."
Yeah, I think that's good. That's right up your alley.
That's right up my alley.
Tim, any more on this insane tangent that you've had at work?
It's just been a very strange day at work. Like, what is the weirdest thing that you've found in a place after you've moved in?
There was a outside space, and there was nothing in it, but it was definitely decked out to grow weed.
Sure.
We had that. Nothing really that much. I can think of something. It's not something left by a previous tenant. We did move into a house in Leeds that had about 17 dead magpies in the attic room.
Oh, God, I remember that.
The murder house.
I think I remember. I think I helped you guys like carry some furniture into that place, and you were like, "Come look at this."
Yeah, well, that room originally was about a third of its original size. And when we moved in, I took a hammer to those walls and opened it up. And it was just loads of space and loads of dead birds.
I'm just looking. I'm so sure that I have a photo somewhere. Don't know what. Oh, that's from a game. I have a photo somewhere from a house that I moved into. Do you remember the house that I moved into on my third year that was actually a B&B and had a shower in the bedroom that wasn't plumbed in?
It was a weird house.
That was a weird house, and the landlord died.
Well, the landlord died very shortly after you left.
Yes, he did. For the audience, not a murderer. He had a heart attack.
For the audience, Tim definitely didn't. Tim, was he one of the two people?
No, that was carpet all through the house there. So when
thick, crusty carpet,
it's textured. So the when I moved into that place, that landlord had a couple of cats. One of which was old and didn't like me very much, and the other one was young and would not leave me the fuck alone.
That's nice.
So what I used to do, because there was no neighbors off the back, I would just like sleep with the curtains open because I had a really nice view of this forest.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go to that house?
Yeah, I helped you move in.
Oh, right, yeah. So you remember the view of the forest then?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah. Absolutely lovely view. So I just slept with the curtains open. But every night, all I'd hear from outside is just, and I'm sorry for the audience if this comes up on the mic. It's not going to come up. Basically, the cat batting at the window, and I'd be like, all right, come in, open the window. And he'd come up and sleep next to me. And then sometime about 3 hours later, he would just be batting my head, wanting to get let out. No matter what time of night it was, just batting my head. Either way, weird thing that was in that house, in the kitchen, the landlord had clearly had a photo shoot done of the cats, not with the cats, just of the cats. And a lot of them, the cats were wearing knitted clothes. I've still got the photos of that somewhere. And if the audience can remind me, I'll try and find them and post them.
Nice. Knitted cat clothes is definitely up there.
It's weird. That was a strange one. That was a
Yeah.
strange house.
It was a very weird house.
Do you remember I had to? So you helped me move in, and then I had to move out for 2 weekends, not weekdays, just weekends. About a month after I moved in, because it was a working Airbnb, and I'd basically booked it for the year.
Yeah.
There was already 2 events on now happening in like October, I think. And so I had to move out for 2 weekends and go to my friend's place for the weekend while someone else lived in my room with my shit around.
Mental.
Absolutely weird.
That is very weird. Anyway, Tim,
Yeah.
I made you watch a film this
You
week.
did.
Let's do the movie jingle. Movies.
So this week we watched 2014's It Follows.
Correct. Yeah, 2014's It Follows.
So
And it was shit.
you said in the episode, and I know this because I listened to the episode today. You said, "Oh, it's scary. Oh, it's."
I remember this being genuinely scary.
I was saying this to some people at work because I'm in one of the cinema chats at work. I do not remember the last time I enjoyed the pacing of a movie and nothing else.
Did this have good pacing?
So it was like the pacing itself was tense, but what was happening on screen was not.
It was just bad. It was so bad.
What happens is, I don't know what year this was set in. Like, I'm assuming like 90s to 2000s.
Yeah, something like that.
Because like the houses and the fashion sense all seem to be from the 80s. The cars seem to be from the 70s. The phones were from the 90s. And the technology and the rest of the technology was from the 2000s. So it was just all over the place.
It was all over the gaff.
So this woman ends up seeing this guy, and
can I give you the short version of this? Because it's not very complex.
No, it's not.
Woman shags man, man gives woman equivalent of STD, but the STD is an imaginary person that follows them at a walking pace, and if they catch them, they kill them.
That's it.
If you want to get rid of it, you got to pass it on to someone else by having sex with them.
But if that person dies, it goes back to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
That is the long and short of it. I did some reading about this movie.
Okay.
To understand just if I was missing something, because Payne and I watched it and we were like, because it's one of these movies that doesn't really have an ending.
Well, we'll come on to the ending towards the end of the section because I have some thoughts on it.
And so I did some reading. I was like, okay, well, this is clearly meant, like the thing that's following them is clearly meant to be analogous of an STD, or an STI. I think the Americans call it
a sexually transmitted disease or infection.
Yeah, so it's clearly meant to be analogous of that, and I thought it was trying to be really clever and have the people that were following the people who had the demon disease. Sexually transmitted demon. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
There it is. So the people who had this sexually transmitted demon, I thought the people they were seeing that were following were maybe people who also had it, like kind of hallucination. And I thought that could be an interesting take. Like, oh, you got it from this person, and this person's got it, and this person's got it. I did some reading on what the director and writer's intentions were. It's nothing to do with STDs. It's literally just death is always following you. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but it's definitely about STDs because it's passed sexually.
Yeah, if it's not about the STDs, what's with the sex?
Yeah, really mad. But it starts off, and there's a girl who's obviously scared, but I think you're meant to be the point of view of the sexually transmitted demon. And she's running literally in circles, going, oh, no, oh. And everyone's going, oh, are you okay? And she's clearly not okay. The acting in this is hammy, to say the least.
Pretty wooden.
And she's going, no, don't, no. And then her dad goes, what's wrong? And she pushes him out of the way. and then he just goes back to tending to the garden, which
Your
weird
daughter's
reaction.
screaming and half naked in the street.
She gets in the car and drives to a beach and sits there and cries. Now, we know, because our main character came from somewhere very similar, drove to the same beach, and was there for 3 days before the thing caught up with her.
Yeah,
That girl was sat crying on that beach for a very fucking long time.
yeah.
And then the morning cuts, and she is mangled, basically. She's dead and her body's all contorted, and that's how you know something bad's happening. Now, the
Yeah.
girl has sex with the guy who's got it. There's hints throughout that he's hiding something not subtle in the slightest. And he chloroforms her after he has sex with her. Standard move. I'm going to cut that out. Please cut that wording out, Joey. Not a good thing to say.
Sure.
He chloroforms her after having sex with her, and she wakes up tied to a wheelchair so that he can go, look, this is the thing that's chasing you. And then he can really bloogie woogie woogie her in its face, get her really close and close to death.
For some reason. Instead of like, because we see the thing walk in from afar.
Yeah.
And why couldn't he just be like, something like that is going to try and touch you. If it does, you die.
But it's not even if it touches her, because at one point in the film, it grabs her by the hair and starts to grab her skin.
Yes.
So are we just assuming that it's kind of messing with her at that point?
I think it's just like, I think it's going to try and kill them in, I don't want to say a very human way of doing it. Because the first death that we get, the girl's shin is like snapped in two and bent the wrong way, and it's all very gory. But then when we actually get the ST demon, who like
I'm enjoying
our main
these
character,
nicknames.
yeah, when the ST demon touches the blonde girl, she kind of just lifts and pulls her hair like a regular person might do.
Well, she lifts up the hair really slowly, like, woo, it's floating. But so the point is that other people can't see the ST demon. It always walks towards you at a snail's pace. And if it catches you, its goal is going to be to kill you. It's very much like that hypothetical about the snail.
That's exactly what I thought of when I was watching this with the immortal snail.
Me too. So, her and her friends are like, oh, this is bad. Let's do something about it. So they go away to the beach, and it follows them. But the guy who owns the car, the older guy, the cool guy who is hanging around with people quite a bit younger than him, it seems, goes, oh, I've got a gun. So he teaches her how to shoot, and she accidentally shoots her friend later in the film, which was comical. But she basically steals the car, gets injured. He says, okay, well, you're not going to get over this until someone has sex. You have sex with someone and pass this on. So he volunteers himself because he doesn't believe it's going to happen. They have sex. 3 days later, she sees this thing go into his house.
Yes.
Now, this part of the film, we're about midway. I've cut a lot of the fluff here, and there is a lot of fluff.
This film is all fluff.
Which is why I was very surprised when you said the pacing was good.
Well, I say the pacing's good. It's slow, and it lets the tension build.
Yeah.
So the plot points are good. Good, sorry. The plot points aren't great.
The plot points are plot points. That's the nicest thing you can say.
They are the loosest definition of plot points.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say the pacing was good, there's that much time between like the key plot points of the movie that it allows the moments to actually like breathe.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely not a 100-mile-an-hour horror film, which we can be quite used to. However, so what I was saying was, she sees this thing goes into his house. She follows it, and then it's taken the form of his mum. And the thing is banging on the door, locked door to his bedroom, and she's going, oh, don't open the door, don't open the door. He obviously doesn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing gets into his room, and as the guy's mom shags him to death.
Yes. Like death by snoo shags him to death.
What the fuck happened there?
I don't know.
The thing that I don't get about that as well, this is about halfway through the film.
Yes.
Nothing is ever said of that guy again. He lived across the street from them.
Gave them safety for like 30 minutes, like in the movie.
Regardless of safety, I think one police car shows up,
Yeah.
and that's it. They don't even mention it. There's nothing at the school, or this student was killed. There's nothing on the street. It's not taped off anywhere.
No.
One police car because this boy got shagged to death.
Yeah. Local
So
news.
obviously, the main character, Jay, has the thing chasing her again. And the thing, this is my favourite part of the film, Tim. They come up with a plan.
Oh my god, this plan infuriated me.
This plan is hilariously bad. They went to a swimming pool, which I couldn't work out if it was an abandoned swimming pool.
Well, I don't think it was because the water was really clear, like the whole thing was being maintained.
Exactly, but why did they have to crawl through like the sewers to get into it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But they went to this pool and they balanced loads of electrical equipment around the pool.
Don't know why.
Well, we do. TVs, irons, toasters,
Lamps.
Lamps, anything
Cables
with
at
an
one
electric
point.
supply, anything with an electrical supply plugged in and balanced around the pool. And the plan is she's going to get in. The thing is going to arrive. It's going to get into the pool and follow her. She gets out. They push all the electrical stuff in and it electrocutes the thing to death.
Yes.
That's the plan. What actually happens is the thing isn't a fucking idiot.
Correct.
So my favourite part of the movie.
Can I just interrupt you there for a second?
Yeah, of
Do
course.
you remember when what the initial boyfriend said about the thing that was following her?
No.
They're not very fast, but they are clever.
Yeah, but he also said quite a lot of times, don't go into rooms with only one exit.
She repeatedly does that.
Constantly.
Yeah.
So, she's in the middle of the pool. Her friends cannot see this sexually transmitted demon. And we go to the point of view of the main character in the pool. And we just get a compilation. This wasn't clear that it was taking the form of her dad. Did you
it's
get
taken
that?
from the friend's dad, not her
What?
dad.
I thought it was her dad.
No, friend's dad.
Oh.
Because that's
Okay.
why she was like, I don't want to tell you who it is.
But the girl that she said that to was her sister.
No, he said it to the boy who was there.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's a non-point.
Yeah. But like they could just be like, I don't. If she didn't want to say, she could just be like, I don't know who that is, because they can't see. They have no means of validating it.
She could have said it looks like Mr. T for all they know.
Yeah.
But point of view shot, and this shot goes on for age. What seems like age. I think it's about 45 seconds.
Yeah, but it feels like forever.
Felt like 10 minutes, and it's just this demon hucking shit at her.
Like throwing toasters at her into the pool, and lamps and tables and chairs and whatever it can get its hands on.
Oh my god, it was funny.
It's
so
incredibly
funny.
And then only about an hour and a half into this hour and 40-minute movie, which is where we are at this point, do they think to cover the invisible thing in a blanket so they can see it?
Yeah, and they do that and they shoot it, and it's like, oh, is it dead or not? And then we get to the ending, Tim.
Yep.
Now, in this time, she has had sex with the boy who's obsessed with her, clearly in love with her. So the thing is following him if it's still alive.
Yes.
They're walking down the street. You can see the silhouette of someone walking behind them. It could be a pedestrian. It could be the thing. They walk. They keep walking. Their backs to camera, and they keep walking, and then it ends.
Yep. End of the movie.
The only good part in this film, right, is a single shot. And it's where the thing first breaks into her house and she's convinced that it's taken the form of one of her friends. But they open the door and she says, "Look, it's me, it's not him." And then this giant man that it's taken the form of, like, comes in behind her from the darkness.
That's a really good shot.
Apart from that, I would say this film had little to nothing redeeming about it.
Yeah. The soundtrack was unique. Now, unique does not mean good, but unique is what it was.
Yes, certainly was unique.
It sounds like someone Gene in Bob's Burgers, how I'm going to use massive air quotes here, experiments with synthesizers.
Yes.
It felt a bit like that.
So good.
Great. We don't normally do this, but I have a Letterboxd account where I leave like reviews a lot. Not reviews. I leave my star ratings for the films I've watched alongside my IMDb account.
Okay.
A lot of the time when I watch a movie, I like to read the Letterboxd reviews because they are fucking hilarious.
Okay.
So I would like to point out some of my favorite Letterboxd reviews for this movie.
Great.
So, this person has the name A Communist.
Okay.
And their entire review is, you know what? I don't know what the fuck that seashell reader is, and it's really pissing me off. So, for the audience, there is a friend in the group, and all she does, I'm assuming it's some sort of phone.
It's a phone. It was a limited edition phone.
In the
Smart
shape
phone.
of a seashell. And all she does is read fucking awful poetry. The entire movie. And every time she was on screen, I just wanted to scream, "Shut up. Shut up. You are adding nothing."
But on the plus side, she's the one that gets shot.
She does get shot. Victoria, on the 22nd of October 2016, wrote, "Sex, cancelled."
Yeah.
Yep. Lily wrote, "I really like the part where it followed them."
Okay, good, yeah.
Great. Persia wrote a review in 2020 that says, "I love her lack of energy. Go, girl, give us nothing."
I mean, that is bang on.
It's spot on. And then the last one I'll read here is from Matt Lynch, and it says, "Teen horniness is not a crime."
Fair enough. Tim, I've just thought of one other shot that I really enjoyed in this film.
Oh, yeah?
When she's in the hospital bed and she's lay there and she can't move, and you can hear the nurse's footsteps coming down the corridor. I thought that was really tense. I thought it was good, and it was a great misdirect.
I thought that was a little predictable.
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
What would you give it out of 10?
3, because I wouldn't want to give it anything less than 1/3 of what I gave Cats.
I also went with 3 out of 10. IMDb has an average rating of 6.8 for this movie. What are they watching? What's the average rating on Letterboxd for this?
Rated by IGN, I imagine.
Maybe. 3.5. So about the same out of 5, that is, on Letterboxd. Yeah. So Letterboxd and IMDb seem to think it's okay. We thought it was awful.
Have you seen this movie? If you have, let us know when you saw it, because that is important. I remember this being a good film. And 2, when did you see it, and did you enjoy it? We want to know.
Yeah.
Tim,
cool.
What are we watching for next week?
I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want awful movie or do you want great movie?
Can we have a good movie, please?
We can have a great movie. We're going to watch Only Yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Don't know anything about it.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on our little running order for next week.
For tomorrow.
For tomorrow, I was about to say, yeah.
Good.
Great. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to go to jokes?
Let's do jokes.
Let's do some jokes. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
So this is our joke of the week section where Tim and I tell each other one-liners, and the aim is to make the other person laugh. Once that other person laughs, the section is over, and that joke is declared the joke of the week. Tim, was that clear?
Very clear. Audience, join in. Let us know where you laughed if you did.
How many do you have?
7.
I have 8. Will I go
Okay.
first?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So I went to the doctor's, and his advice was, "Don't eat anything fatty." And I said, "What, like burgers?" And he said, "No, fatty. Just don't eat anything."
Good. I think we might have had that one previously.
We've done a lot of jokes.
We have. There are 2 types of people in this world: those that need closure.
Very good. I think we might have had that one as well.
Oh wow!
A genie granted me 1 wish, so I wished to be happy. Now I live with 6 dwarves and work in a mine.
That's good. That nearly got me.
Yeah.
I like that one. My pet snake was getting too large, so I decided to put an ad on Facebook. Guy sent me a message saying, "Is it a big snake?" They're massive. How many feet? None. It's a snake.
Very good.
You laughed. I saw a chuckle.
No. Listen back to the recording.
I
There's
saw a
no
little
laugh.
chuckle on the webcam.
There was no chuckle. It was good, but there was no laugh. Tim, your vet won't tell you this, but if your dog's running a fever, get some mustard. It's the best thing for a hot dog.
I like that a lot.
I can't believe that got you.
That got me. That was really good.
Okay, well, that was a joke of the week. Here's the jingle.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
The joke of the week is, your vet won't tell you this, but if your dog's running a fever, get some mustard. It's the best thing for a hot dog.
Really good.
Tim, have you got any that you needed to get out?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
What was the last thing the president said before he kicked the bucket?
Look how far I can kick this bucket.
Look how far I can kick this bucket.
Good.
My plan was this week to take the wind from your sails if it got to that point.
I would have just thrown it back at you. My last joke is, what did my cat say just before he kicked the bucket?
Yeah.
So I have one, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend's dog died, so I tried to cheer her up by getting her an identical one. For some reason, this made her more upset. She screamed at me and said, "What am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs?"
That's awful.
Would that have won?
Maybe.
The delivery was poor.
The hot dog one got me. I really like dumb puns, and that got me.
Good. Tim, I sent you a text earlier with a question. What was that question?
You asked me what my favourite musical was.
Yeah. So Tim has famously said on this podcast before that he loves musicals and loves musical theatre. So I put together a quiz for you, Tim.
Okay.
It's a 10-question quiz.
Sure.
And I want you to tell me if it's a lyric from a Hamilton song or Nicki Minaj.
Oh, God, I don't listen to Nicki Minaj, so this will be interesting.
Well, it depends how well you know Hamilton, because they're very similar, okay?
Sure, okay.
10 questions. So I'll keep a score, don't worry.
Okay.
Number 1 is we're going to start easy, okay?
Sure.
My name is Alexander Hamilton. There's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait.
That is obviously Hamilton.
That is correct. If you stand for nothing, what will you fall for?
That's also Hamilton.
That is correct. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I amaze and astonish.
That is Nicki Minaj.
That is incorrect.
Oh, that's in Hamilton.
Yes. He tossed my salad like his name Romaine.
Oh, clearly Hamilton. No, it's Nicki Minaj.
Good. Okay, I get it. Let me think. I guess it's my turn. Maybe it's time to put this pussy on your sideburns.
Ah, that's when George Washington went for the Louisiana Purchase. No, it's Nicki Minaj.
Good. Got that super soaker, pussy pop like it's Coca-Cola, plus it's tighter than a choker, got them smiling like the Joker.
I am seeing a theme here with Nicki Minaj lyrics. Nicki Minaj.
Very good. Next. When I met Thomas Jefferson, and when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'll compel him to include women in the sequel.
That is Hamilton.
Very good.
That is the Schuyler Sisters song.
Wobbly wobble, whoa whoa wobble, wobbin'. That's so fat, this bitch's pussies be throbbing.
Now let me think. Oh, is that in one of the debates? No, it's Nicki Minaj.
Good. If he catch my drift, then I will catch his jizz.
Have you just found an awful list of Nicki Minaj lyrics?
What makes you think that's Nicki Minaj? I haven't confirmed it yet.
That's Nicki Minaj.
Well, congratulations. And dying is easy, young man. Living is harder.
That is Alexander Burr's advice to Alexander Hamilton.
Tim, you got 9 out of 10.
It's not bad.
I mean, I think if I'd included one of the Nicki Minaj ones earlier, you probably wouldn't have confused Hamilton and Nicki Minaj. The one you got wrong was, I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I amaze and astonish.
That is Alexander Hamilton's son's song, now that I think about it.
Well, the very next one was, he tossed my salad like his name Remain.
What lyric? Lyrical genius.
Just thought I'd test your knowledge on Hamilton.
How'd I do? Obviously
9
9
out
out
of
of 10,
10.
but like, if you had to grade it.
D-, because they should not be confused. Just thought I'd put that together for you. Thought you'd enjoy it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Tim. Oh, hold on. I can hear someone at the door.
Can you?
Yeah, I can hear your door knocking. Oh, there it is.
There it is. All right, hang on. Give me a sec.
My name's Dominic Littlewood. Dominic Littlewood. Dominic Littlewood. Dominic Littlewood. Dominic Littlewood. Dominic Littlewood. I'm on the case.
Hello. I don't know if that came up on the microphone. I was very far away, very quiet.
Very far away. Very quiet. How are you, Dom?
Oh, my duck feet hurt. My washing machine needs a clean.
Yep. Good.
And my little legs are very tired from climbing on this chair.
So, would you say you're good or bad?
This is a good day. This is a good day for.
What makes a bad day, Dom Littlewood?
One more thing on my list of ailments.
Yeah.
It becomes a write-off.
A very bad day.
A very bad day.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you here. It's lovely to see you again. Tim has just stepped out. Maybe he'll be back in time. I don't know. But this is the 8th time I've met you. And so far you've managed to miss Tim at every opportunity.
My plan's working. My next step is to swap all the wires on his PC.
Yeah, okay.
So his left monitor becomes the main one.
Very clever. Very mean, I would say.
I prefer to think of it as cunning.
Okay, sorry, cunning. Like
really
a fox, like a washing machine duck-billed fox.
That's why I got my fox tail.
So you have a fox tail, is that good? Okay, great. Dom, I need you to tell me, is Nicki Minaj is real or fake?
Nicki Minaj is as real as it gets.
And what evidence do you have for that?
She tossed my salad like her name Romaine.
Okay, well, that was all I needed to anything else you want to say on that? Was her pussy be popping?
Wibble, wibble, wob, wob. Any further, this bitch pussy fob.
Fucking great. I really thought afterwards. Sorry, thanks, Dom. You can go.
I'm away. Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Tim.
Hello, you good?
After week 1, I thought this Dom Littlewood thing might get a bit thin, but it's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Have I missed him again?
Yeah, you missed him again. He's been jerked off by Nicki Minaj, and he's got a foxtail.
What a day he's had.
Yeah, he said that he was quite sore though. Sore legs.
He does. I've heard he's got little legs.
One day you'll see him, Tim. One day.
One day. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because that's all we've got him booked for.
Yeah. Hopefully. Compose. Okay, Tim.
Yep.
So, blast from the past this week.
Oh God, yeah.
Habbo Hotel's
gaming
coming
news.
back.
Yeah, Habbo Hotel Origins.
I guess my question, first of all, is who the fuck has asked for this?
I don't know. It's very weird.
Who wants a 20-year-old chat room where if you swear it replaces the word with bobber?
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't rife with pedos.
I was going to say, surely there are easier ways to nonce these days.
With the golden age of TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim.
Yeah.
And Chris Hansen isn't about, so you got that safety net. We used to play Habbo Hotel.
We did. We used to play a lot of it.
Maybe I shouldn't have segued in there because now we sound like paedophiles. However, we were
the children.
We were the children, so we were the noncees rather than the
Jesus
nonces.
Spit my drink out for a second
then. Tim,
yeah.
Why did we stop playing Habbo Hotel?
We were banned from it, Joey, by our mother. Why was that?
So I have a very addictive personality. And when I start doing something, I just don't stop. And the thing that I didn't stop this time was calling a phone line that charged you £1 every time you called, but gave you Habbo Hotel currency.
So you could buy furniture.
So I could buy virtual... I was a pioneer of NFTs. Virtual furniture.
But it wasn't NFTs because everyone else had the same furniture.
Yeah, but I had mine in my room.
Oh, okay, that makes it minted.
Yeah. So I might have put £120 on a phone bill. Now, I remember thoroughly the day that we got found out. Well, you were an innocent bystander who got killed by the drive-by. Yeah, we were at our grandparents, and Dad came in and absolutely bollocked us with the phone bill in his hand.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, I understand why I would get banned for that. Why did you get banned?
Because you didn't own up to it. And the response was, well, if no one's owning up to it, you're both not playing it.
Was that a sad day?
I was sad, yeah. I enjoyed playing Habbo Hotel, and somehow a phone bill got racked up.
Yeah. I did that. That was a bad thing. Will you be playing Habbo Hotel Revisited?
No, probably not.
Have you reached that threshold where you're no longer the noncy and become the noncer?
I'm not sure if I'm going to agree to comment on that.
If you told people at your work, well, I mean, the fact that you have work rather than school answers the question, but if you told people at your work that you played Habbo Hotel, which would they assume that you were?
They would assume that I was the noncy, I'm assuming.
No, the noncer.
Is that just like a nonce who's gone after someone above age?
No, the noncer, the nonce.
Oh. Well,
the noncy is the receiver of noncing.
Oh.
Think of it like manager.
I've never heard the word manager.
With paedophiles.
Cut this section short.
Yeah, Tim, what's the worst way to take a selfie?
This is a little party trick I like to pull. I'm going to ask you what the worst way to take a selfie is, and then I'm going to show you what I think the worst way to take a selfie is.
Timed photo.
Yep.
From one side of the room to the other, completely naked, and you have to look at the camera through your own legs.
That's pretty creative. For me, I'm going to send you this as well. Front-facing camera, holding so your camera's towards your chest.
Shall I do the same?
If you want, yeah.
Do we post them on the Discord? This is not a flattering angle.
No, it's really not, and this is the best part. Okay. So you pull your head back so you get as many chins as possible.
Yeah.
Leave your mouth slightly open and look forward.
Okay. Oh, see, I've done this wrong because I had the camera against my chest. But I'll send you the two that I'm sending.
I encourage all of our Discord users to do this.
And share it in the Two Blokes from Blighty Discord.
I'm gonna quickly rotate my image so it's the right way up. This is what it comes out like.
There you go. There's 2 for you. That's it. That is a great selfie. Oh, see, I'm looking down at the camera.
Oh no, the whole idea is that you look forward and
Oh,
just
hold
have your
on.
mouth
Let me
open.
Let me do that.
The mouth slightly open, looking forward.
I don't know why I'm pulling the face I'm pulling, but it's a good look. That if ever I do anything stupid enough to get me divorced, that's my Tinder profile picture.
I like that you can see the top, like the top half of the image is just the ceiling.
Yeah, it's added boomerisms.
So,
Tim,
audience, that is the instruction. Hold front-facing camera towards your chest, pointing up. Make as many chins as possible. Look forward, mouth slightly open. We want to see selfies.
We want to see selfies. Tim, let's jump into a few things. Can we do pub quiz question?
Pub quiz question of the week. What was the original name for Mickey Mouse before Walt Disney's wife convinced him to change it?
Ronnie Rodent.
It was not Ronnie Rodent.
That's better than Hitler the hamster.
Hampler.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got nothing.
Nothing. Mortimer.
No, that's really boring.
Really boring, but it's also really shit.
Yeah, okay, cool. Tim, Discord user of the week?
Discord user of the week. Can I get some sort of fanfare for this while I desperately look for one? Thank you. We are going to go with Seismic Cinema.
Up the seismic, up the pod pack. Woo, woo, woo.
Pod pack. Whoop, whoop.
Well, let's start with them. Seismic Cinema, Seismic Soccer, both great podcasts. I'm also going to shout out the lovely Dan, who texted me this week saying I used the word cuck quite a lot in last episode.
There was a lot of cuck.
I didn't even notice. He texted me saying, I hate the word cuck. And I was like, and this is in reference to... and he told me that I use it a lot. Didn't notice. And he also told me he hates the word spag bol. So Tim, if he hates it when people say spag bol. So next time you come to my house, I'll cook you a spag bol and you can sit in the cuck chair in the corner.
Brilliant.
So I'd also like to shout out, obviously, the fantastic, wonderful human being that is Josh Scar. Go listen to Talking Smack.
Yeah.
And our third host, 3 guys from the world, Slade, who is three. What's a word? Oh my god, Tim, a word for men from Earth.
Humans.
Beginning with E is what I meant, not from Earth.
We're beginning Earthling.
Yeah, but 3 Earthlings from Earth is shit.
Epex predators.
Epex predators. So we're not A, B, C, D. we are
below the scale.
The 5th rung down. We are Epex predators. Slade. I mean, in shouting you out, I think I've insulted you there. But shout out to Slade, who's a wonderful human being. And of course, shout out all of the pod pack. Great pods. Listen to all of them. We are proud members of the pod pack. Tim, anything you want to say to the audience?
Take that, you bastards.
Take that, you bastards. I'll see you in a week's time.
Sorry, I thought I was going to burp and nearly threw up.
Now, rip. See you in the post-amble, Tim.
See you in the post-amble, everyone.